First off, pleasure to have you. I'm glad you're hopping in today. I wanted to do a podcast about Aurory for a long time now, probably over like a year now. I don't know if you probably don't know too much about my story, but I left crypto for a while. I was
Uh-huh.
working a lot of like IRL stuff. I just came back maybe like a month ago, and you know how that goes. Like I fell back in love with it, so now this is like my third podcast recording in like the last like 6-7 days. So you know
Yeah,
how that goes.
you had some big guests, and thanks for having me. Glad we found a good time to meet. And a bit the same like you. I also, my first investment, like they would say, was back in 2018. I think just after Bitcoin peaked and was everywhere. Uh, and yeah, rode it the whole way down. I think I didn't touch it for 2 years or something. And then my interests slowly came back, and yeah, here we are. It was a fun bull market, and I stayed. And it's an interesting period now. I feel like we're maybe at the end of the bear market, maybe the beginning of the next bull run. Who knows? But it feels good. I've learned a lot.
Yeah, last bull market, I definitely had no exit strategy, and I held on to too many things without
Yeah,
letting
yeah.
go. But I mean, that's looking back now, right? But you can't really change too much. I wonder,
Mhm.
personally, I don't think we're in a bull market yet. I think there's too many macro conditions going on right now with
Yeah, true, 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 true.
like
I,
international affairs, like the United States government. Like, there's too much going on right now for me to confidently say we're in a bull market. Also, I kind of hope we're still in a bear market so I can accumulate more. Like,
well, I'm definitely no expert. Like, I'm no trader. I already found that out, and I just uh, invest, I would say, in things that I believe in. Um, right now, that's of course Aurory, but a couple other projects, like with the MadLads, things that feel good. In the bull market, I also did great on PancakeSwap, for example, and I always took profits. Had my time with Stepn. What else? Solarians, the beginning of Solana.
oh,
Um,
nice. That's like, isn't that the first NFT collection on Solana?
yeah, there's some discussion. I think there's one earlier. Was that creatures or something?
Oh, creatures. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Creatures
Uh,
might be the first one, and then
but yeah,
Solarians is
indeed,
the
we
second.
just sent them money and hoped we got something back. And we got some sort of token back, and 2 months later, that became an NFT. It was a bit of a gamble, but it worked out, and I exited at the right time, and then converted my winnings to Aurory, and here we are.
Yeah, it's so funny how drastically different like the NFT landscape is. Like a year
Hmm.
or two, maybe not a year ago, but definitely in the beginning days, there was like no real utility. It was kind of
No,
just like a storage of wealth or like literally just artwork or something. I don't know if creatures or like Solarians had any utility at all, or it
they
was literally just like a token.
they wanted to go for the rev share thing, so they set up their own market, Digital Eyes. But yeah, eventually lost it against Magic Eden, etc. And then they also discovered that they could not just do rev share due to some uh, law in
Yeah, rev
US, I
share.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even rev share doesn't even really count as utility to me. That just
Hmm.
sounds, and there's too many, especially in the U.S. There's so much like security laws
Oh
going on.
yeah, yeah.
That's too much of a discussion, right? So I mean, I'm glad we're in the space we are now, where like we have like obviously Aurory is like a good NFT project to talk about because there's an
Hmm.
actual game right behind it, and
Yeah.
I was reading up on a lot of the Substack articles you sent me, and I think the very first Substack article from June 2022, it was mentioned that Aurory had 49 members, like 49 members of the
Right.
team. Do
Yeah.
you know what that number is now?
It's probably around 64, 65 right now. I I don't know if that is all devs. Of course, you have people for the website as well, a few marketing people, but I would say for the game that are directly tied to it, definitely over 50. But the whole team is somewhere around 65.
That's good. I mean, the team is growing as is the project. How did Aurory like when Aurory was started, was it
Mhm.
created with like the game in mind already?
Yeah. We have very early proof of concept footage. And I think we have two co-founders. It's Jan Penno and Paul, more known as Sim. And I think at the beginning there were only a handful of people. Like you also had Stefan Carnegie, who had the vision, who wrote a light paper, and then they got some funds from VCs. They jumped on the NFT craze as well. Immediately promised that these would be playable characters in their game. And then you also had the IDO in October of 2021. That was peak bull market. It was super successful. I mean, over 100 million was raised. A tad too
Wow.
high, looking in hindsight, but it allowed the team, it allowed them to really build out a team. I think from that point on, it went really serious. And that's also, I think, some early promises was we would already be playing at the end of 2021. But after that IDO, the scope increased massively. And if you could say the word investors or NFT holders, we definitely had to be patient. But I think in the long run, it'll be good for the project. I mean, Axie as well. It started in 2018. It had a couple of years to build, and I feel the same way about Aurory.
No, I definitely think it was the right choice because
Mm-hmm.
$100 million at your disposal, like at the time, yeah, like the timeline of the end of 2021 sounded like a good idea, but now you have 100 million in capital that you can allocate to
Yeah.
building a better game, right? So
Uh,
obviously in the short term, everybody's kind of like might be a little pissed about it because they're like, hey, we bought this with the expectation of having a fully developed game by the end of the year.
mm-hmm.
But if you're gonna have a way better game and you just have to wait a little while, personally, I think it's worthwhile. But
That's
before I ask anything too crazy about about Aurory, because
yeah.
I don't have any too in depth questions, but they might be a little in depth. Something simple. What do you think sets Aurory apart from other NFTs, whether those NFT collections are on Solana or Ethereum?
Oh, so the whole NFT space.
Yeah.
I think sometimes it is seen as a weakness as well, but they don't want to go into that hype vibe of over promising everything. Like if they have a bullish call tomorrow with a certain team, they won't just put that in Discord. And um, I feel, they're setting up a serious organization here. I feel like we're at the beginning of a possible mainstream brand that is being built here, and that's going to take time. It's not going to be for 24, 25, but maybe later. And I like how they are taking their time to build a great base, and slowly get people in. Like they're not marketing super hard right now, and that's also because the product they have right now is still in an alpha phase at best, and you don't want people joining in masses already just because they can earn a bit and then have a bad experience with Aurory. So yeah, I'd say it's more of a mature project versus other projects that are just only brand and have nothing really going on. I feel this is a project with, am I saying that correctly, with meat on it, a little bit deeper, that has a lot of backing. So it will also take time for the NFTs to appreciate in value, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying, and Rory definitely seems to have more substance than other
Mm-hmm.
NFT projects. I definitely don't get the vibe that like you guys are just trying to live in hype or because
Mm-hmm.
the thing is when you see an NFT collection, MadLads is a good example, but I don't want to make like a personal attack against MadLads, but something that like their volume over the last few days is just crazy, right?
Yeah.
I don't. But the thing is, the difference between MadLads and another NFT collection that might seem like they're about a rug pull is that MadLads openly said they have like no real utility. So it really is just kind of like art appreciation. But I think the
Yeah.
NFT collections that are purely based off hype, where it's like they have these like super populated discords with people grinding for whitelists. A good example, what were they called? It was like Soul Skeletons or something. I forget what they're called. Soul Reapers.
Yeah,
Soul
Skelly
Reapers.
some. Yeah,
You remember that collection? Soul
I've
Reapers
heard
was
about them. Yeah, never had it.
there. So I thought the art was pretty good, but the thing is, like, the way you got whitelisted, you'd have to join the Discord and then invite 3 other people, and then when you invited 3 other people,
Oh,
you
right,
got
right, right.
whitelisted, right? So now this Discord is full of people, and then the day of the mint, obviously there's like 30,000 people in the Discord, and it
Yep.
seems great. It's just full of hype, and then like maybe a few days later, a few weeks later, it just goes to zero because it was literally a rug pull. So obviously, when you buy an NFT, like you should, if you invest in anything, really, you shouldn't invest with emotions. With that
Mhm.
being said, yeah, I don't get that vibe from Aurory where it's just purely based on hype or like hype at all, really. Like, everybody says the best collections are built in the bear
Yeah.
market, so this is like a prime example of that. And
Yeah.
it kind of works in our favor a little bit, right? Because I'm still stacking Solana, still getting more Aurorys or Aurorians. I mean, so at this moment, so since the price is low, like from my point of view, it's great. I can get these for a low cost with like the
Yeah,
long
I think it's a
end in mind.
great entry point. Of course, we'll see in the future if it was a good choice. But I remember, I think my first one was 5K USD, if I remember correctly. So from the early days, I'm down on my initial investment.
How much Solana did you spend though?
Good question. I don't think I spent more than, I think it was 28 back then. But
Which
of
is
course,
so 28 Solana is around like the floor price now. So I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
if you weren't going to convert the Solana to USD anyways, like that's another way to think about it too, right? If you were just going to hold Solana anyways, you're not really down too much.
Exactly. That's what I said. I'm not a trader, so I would probably just have hold the 28 Solana. Of course, I do feel right now I've gone into this rabbit hole of NFTs, not only speaking about Aurory, but I feel like sometimes I have too much into NFTs, which are not that liquid as the
Yeah.
Solana coin is. So sometimes I do wonder, is it time to convert a bit of these NFTs back into Solana so I'm ready if a next bull market comes? Um,
what other Solana NFT collections are you a fan of?
if we keep it to gaming first, I also bought 5 Guild Saga heroes. It's more of a retro tactics game, I think a very niche game, but I like what they're building, and it was not too expensive. I also have an Everseed. Um, yeah, I also minted the MadLads, but that's maybe because the artist is the same as the Aurory artist, so we got a lot of spots in the community, and I'm glad I minted.
Did were just not to cut you off. Did
Mhm.
Aurorians get like whitelisted at all? Was there like a certain amount of whitelist
Yeah,
allocated?
we got over 150 spots, but it was not all at once. Tim and Mikey, our community managers, were able to secure a lot of spots. Also because there's a great connection with one of the co-founders of Backpack, Tristan Ever. He even has his own honorary Aurorian. So yeah, they're good friends, and that's why also in the early days of Backpack, Aurory was one of the flagship projects that you saw on there. So you can basically, by the way, play Aurory through the Backpack app right now if you want to.
Oh, really? You can play through the app, really?
Yeah, through the app. So you just it maximizes the wallet, and you can just play it through there.
I'm actually gonna try that today. So I missed the Mad Lad mint, and it just went crazy on Twitter, and I got crazy
Yeah.
FOMO. So I wish I was more active in like crypto and stuff, right? I'm so busy. I do a lot of stuff outside of this too, so it's
Uh-huh.
hard to be everywhere at once. But I wish I grabbed that mint. Like not to get too off topic, a few months ago, a lot of people got that Bonk airdrop, right?
Yeah, right.
Dude, I had and like
I
my
sold
God.
it for a couple dollars and then it went crazy.
Dude, I had so I looked at my wallet and I had I have so in two different wallets. In one wallet, I had about $500 worth of Bonk, and in a different
Yeah.
wallet, I had close to like 400. So
Nice.
about 900, right? But I looked at the charts, and then like 3 months prior, it was worth like in total $9,000, and I was like, bro,
Oof.
like this is why I wish I was around because I would have like.
Ooh, right,
But then
right. Yeah,
again, I might have did what you did and just sell it for like
yeah.
almost
I saw
instant.
it early on, and I was like, all right, this is the next meme coin. Just sell it for the couple dollars that we can. And then yeah, it just blew up. Luckily, I don't know. You probably have you done expeditions with Aurory?
No, I haven't done anything with Aurora yet.
Well, you basically send your Aurorian to an expedition wallet by the team, and a lot of the airdrops of Bonk ended up in that wallet. And
Oh, really?
yeah, then suddenly when it started exploding, we discovered that, and yeah, the team actually went ahead and redistributed the Bonk to us, and it was basically the top of the chart. So yeah, that was a cool thing for Aurory, but don't feel bad about missing out stuff. For me, it is the same. Sometimes I feel like my head is in the sand and I'm missing a lot of stuff. Like MadLads is a success now that I haven't had in, is it the past 6 months or something? I mean, you just keep being active in the space and you miss 10 different moonshots. Don't feel bad about it. I always feel like something else will cross your path, and for many Aurorians that was MadLads right now. But I also early 2022 someone wrote about Stepn, and I got in pretty early, and it was a great 3 months until it all collapsed. Luckily I did the right thing and took profits every now and then.
How
But
involved were you with Stepn, or were you just an investor?
I had a pretty good thread going that was shared across the Stepn community. So that was on my personal account, RNBE. And I just had a daily update on my journey. And in the beginning, I was earning like a couple dozen bucks. But of course, when I earned $500 for a 40-minute walk, things started to blow up. But
Yeah,
yeah,
for the people that are listening that might be confused on what Stepn is. Stepn was this NFT collection, right? And the utility was that I'm not exactly sure how it worked or how it
walk
was
to earn.
tracked.
It was
Yeah,
walk to earn.
yeah, literally walk to earn. So the more you walked throughout the day,
Yeah.
the more you earned,
Yeah,
which is
but you needed
crazy.
to buy new shoes, etc., to be able to walk longer. So with one shoe, you were only able to earn like, was it 5 minutes, 10 minutes? So yeah, it
What happened?
became
What
this kind
happened
of
to
Ponzi,
Stepn?
of
Is
course.
it?
I think it
It's
collapsed. So it's still
okay.
here. It didn't work. It's a legit project, but yeah, people came in droves to earn their things back. But then, when all the people had joined, of course, no new people came in, and it all collapsed. But
I feel like
I
something
don't
like
want to
this.
say anything bad about them. I would definitely try it out again. I had fun. I was in better shape than I was today because I was walking every single day. So it was definitely fun, and I hope they pull through.
I feel like something like Stepn would be something that retail investors would absolutely love. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
how do you get the 40-year-old soccer mom involved with NFTs like
yeah,
10
yeah,
years
yeah.
from now? This could be like if they had if the shoes were if the cost of entry was low in general, so like buying the initial
Mhm.
token or buying the shoes or whatever, I feel like that would be great for retail consumers. I'm
That
looking
was
at
the
their website
only
now and
problem.
it looks pretty legit because one of the it says our advisors and one of them is a VP at Adidas. So it's like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He came over. Yeah, they had some pretty big hires. I mean, but that was the problem with Stepn. It had this big upfront cost. You had to buy a shoe when it was really booming. I think you had to pay 25 sol for a shoe to get in. So for a lot of people, that was already a big investment. Definitely with Solana at $100. Um,
yeah. I think initially, I remember back then, I didn't get into it, and I think that was probably why.
Yeah,
And
a lot of my colleagues started doubting, like, do we also jump in? But I think that cost held them back, and luckily, because otherwise they would probably have been screwed of entering it too late.
yeah, I mean, if you can't make your principal back, then it's kind of a waste. But then again, it's like you did walk more, and you're
Yeah.
objectively healthier
Mm.
now.
So, but that's a bit of the thing that Aurory wants to learn from. Like the game, you bought an Aurorian, but the game is essentially completely free to play. You even get default NFTs, so there are no creatures that are gated or anything. Anyone can join in. Of course, there are some elements like the egg hatching, getting better NFTs, which do cost you a bit of money, but
Yeah,
you can earn it from the game. Like we have this success story of a Brazilian guy who started playing completely for free. Um, in the beginning, he was probably only earning $2-3 per hour, so that was not a big pay. But he just kept grinding, became one of the best players there is. He has 7 Aurorians now, a killer Nefty team. Um, yeah, and even in a special contest, he ended up third, winning another 1.5k USD. So that's pretty big.
yeah, no, that's definitely huge. I have a few questions about Aurory, but before I ask those, do you
Yep.
want to explain how the game works? I guess for anyone that's unfamiliar.
Yeah. So what is out right now that you can play now is go to app.aurory.io. And you can play the tactics game. It's a multiplayer game. I'd say it's a bit of a Pokemon chess game. You make a team of 3 Nefties. And yeah, you start playing against each other. It has ranking, leaderboards. And I'd say for now, it's a bit. It could use more tutorial levels. There's a small tutorial. You have to pull through. You have to dive in and learn the ropes. I'd say join the Discord. There are a lot of people who can help you there. But it's a fully fleshed game. It's a full economic loop is implemented. I'm sure you'll enjoy it if you take the time to discover it and learn it. And then what is coming in early May is something completely different, but with the same assets. It's a kind of an MMORPG area. So it's a village where we will be able to chat with each other, see each other walking around, and just hang out. And then you will have a completely different battle mode with those same creatures, the Nefties. It will be fast-paced. The first version will be some kind of auto battler, but it will evolve in more of a Pokemon fight, 1v1 Nefties against each other, where a turn-based experience, and you'll be able to wager Aurory against that. So not
You
like
can
the
wager
coins.
your Aurory,
Yeah,
like you can gamble your Aurory.
you'll be able to have a couple options of Aurory you want to put up per fight.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about the actual token. For a moment, I
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
you
yeah,
meant
yeah.
like the Aurorian
Oh,
NFTs. I was
sorry.
like,
No,
that's
no, that's not in the works right now. No, maybe further on, but yeah. So Aurory is the coin indeed. Aurorians are the NFTs.
correct. Yeah, yeah. No, no, that makes sense. I was gonna say that's a pretty high stake battle if you're
Yeah,
throwing out
sorry. I would
Aurorian.
not put up my Aurorians for a
No,
little.
that sounds awesome though. So you can that actually sounds great. So you can because that kind of has a lot of similarities to Pokemon and other
It does. It
other.
does. Yeah, it's creatures as well. I'd say maybe. Well, the they are creating an Auroryverse. I mean, I know it's a a term everyone uses right now, but they, for instance, have also worked a bit on a little mini game, a Clash Royale mini game, but with Nefties. It hasn't come out yet. The community is waiting a bit what is happening with that, but it just goes to show they are creating this world where all the assets can be used in different game modes, and the successful IDO from back in the day, I think, gives us time of gives the team time to try and fail. So they first finished the alpha version of Tactics. It will, of course, still grow. Now they're focusing on bringing us these adventures, which eventually... So the village right now is some kind of prologue to the adventures, and we will have fully fleshed out storylines, dungeons that we can discover, and they will also do some kind of land sales. But yeah, this
So
info is...
these NFTs are also NFTs as well, or are they just part of the game?
They are, yeah. Well, you have the default NFTs that you can use, that every free player can use. But you have epic rare NFTs in the game. They are kind of like Pokemon. That's the simplest way to put it.
And they have, and you can purchase these NFTs for through with the underlying asset of AURY token, correct?
Yeah, indeed. That's all on the Aurory marketplace. So those are not available on Magic Eden or anywhere else. You have to see the Aurorians, the avatars. That is the classic NFT collection that other projects have.
Yep.
And then, the NFTs is inside the Aurory universe, just like Stepn had their shoes. That's kind of what will be used everywhere, but Aurorians as well, of course.
So the gameplay, right? So you have this, like I have an Aurorian, right? So in the game, I can walk around with my Aurorian, and then will these NFTs essentially follow me around, or like be in like or maybe one follow me around? Because if I have like 3 or 4,
from the footage I have seen, that is not the case right now, but that can, of course, happen further down the line. That's a bit the thing where we have joined a project that is still building their game. And things will change, things will get scrapped as well, and it's exciting to see.
It's fun playing games in beta. So I mean, obviously you're probably familiar with Fortnite, right? And there's like a running joke that Fortnite, I don't know if they're still in beta, but for like the first 5 years of their release, when you loaded a Fortnite, on the top like right corner it would say in beta. And it's like, dude, this game's been out for 5 years, and there's like 100 million monthly players month over month over month over month. But it's great. The thing is with them too. So what Epic Games did with Fortnite that was so wonderful is they listened to their community and they did a weekly update. So they would implement a new, like something new in the game, so like a new weapon, right? And then they would take real life feedback from either like Discord or Reddit or something, where they would listen to the community and then implement the community, essentially like kind of like they treated their community as a DAO, essentially, right? So they would take their opinions and then implement it, and then everybody loved the game. Because the thing, like the difference between like Fortnite and maybe like a Call of Duty, half the players that play it, they think it kind of sucks and they're like, this could be better, and then it takes like months for them to roll out an update to fix it. And even when they do that, they still fuck up and they don't really fix anything, right? That's the difference between Fortnite and like, then Fortnite was a new game, and that's why there were so many active players. So
I always wondered, would I have wanted to work at Epic, of course, because it was crazy how fast they would bring new stuff in, and I'm then thinking about the people who have to do it, and I'm wondering, do they even sleep? I mean, it's such a massive game, and they just kept on pushing updates. I think you have to be really staffed for that. So I won't say that Aurory right now does weekly updates. I really like the monthly updates that we get. It gets us a good vision on what is happening behind the scenes, so that definitely helps.
Yeah, the thing with Fortnite is such a massive game too. So like a weekly update kind of makes, I mean, I don't know if I want to say it makes sense, but like with Aurory seems like a tighter game. So you probably won't need to push an update every week. Like once a month or maybe even once a quarter can suffice.
Definitely with tactics. I mean, you see different metas every time. Like there was now a meta that people felt like was too strong, and then today the number one player came out with a thread on Twitter like, here I have the perfect counter for this setup. And I believe the meta will completely change again. So that's really fun to see.
So is the game mainly? So I know the PvP aspect. Is it purely logic? Is it just like is it like a chess type game where every
Yeah.
move has like you have to think 3 steps ahead essentially?
Yeah, definitely. With the timeline that is up there, that's what people miss in the beginning. If you move one tile too much, you sometimes screw up your setup. So yeah, it's very much tactical and
Is this
very
the
chess-like.
is this the main game that Aurory wants to have, or is
Mm,
Aurory gonna expand and have other, or maybe other games, or let's say mini games in the Auroryverse?
it's hard to say what's the main game, but I don't think tactics is the one. They just were. The adventures part is massive. That scope is insane, and I think they really needed to have a game mode that was out, that where the economic loop was fully implemented, and
So
now they can still update that. But I think adventures with the storyline is definitely going to be the main attraction point, and also is going to be more appealing to the masses, in my
yeah,
opinion.
I was gonna say. So you mentioned earlier, there's not really that much of a tutorial for the game, right? You kind of just have to
Mm-hmm.
dive in and then learn the tactics.
Yeah.
So I wonder if, like, I'm gonna give you some unsolicited advice. It might
Yeah.
may not be worth anything, but I think obviously Aurory's creating a story mode, right? I
Mm-hmm.
think if the story mode, which can be completely single player, if it was set up in a way where you have, I'm gonna allude to or compare it to Pokemon a lot, right?
Yeah,
So in
yeah, go ahead.
Pokemon, you get off your little truck, you talk to a few people, you go pick your Pokemon, you walk around, and then when you get into battle, it kind of teaches you how to do everything real slow, right? It does it real slowly. You go to
Yeah.
your first gym, you you understand how the gym mechanics work. You understand how a team battle works. You have 3 or 4 Pokemon, and like the gym trainer has maybe 3 or 4 Pokemon. And by
Mm-hmm.
the time you by maybe I don't know how many hours in, but by the time you beat the first gym trainer, you have a good understanding of the game, right?
Yeah.
So I wonder if Aurory did something like that where so in the moment, can you earn without PvP? Can you earn just by playing the game without against anybody?
No, at the
Yeah,
moment you
so
cannot.
yeah, so I feel like that's a big deterrent, right? Because if
Mm-hmm.
this game is kind of hard to learn, because it's purely logic, right? So if I have to think 3 to 4 to 5 or steps ahead, I'm gonna get destroyed by the first person I play if I have zero experience, especially if there's no tutorial behind the game, right? And
Yeah.
if the only reward mechanism is through this game, it's kind of like first mover advantage, right? So like
Mm-hmm.
somebody that's been playing the game for months is just going to destroy me and take and accrue all the wealth. But if there was somehow a way where I don't know how, not to get too deep into like revenue streams and like how it makes sense to give tokens out, but if Aurory created a single player mode with a solid storyline, and throughout the storyline after certain things you do, maybe part of the storyline or Easter eggs helped you
Yeah.
accrue some sort of token, maybe even more NFTs that might have some sort of value on the marketplace. I think that
I,
would be a great direction for Aurory.
yeah, I believe that is going to be the goal. It was also in the white paper like that. So the white paper is over a year old, and a lot of things are outdated already. Um, but I think it's still the case that people will be able to, go when the story mode releases, go on this story, probably alone, talk to people, and I think with completing quests, um, I think, of course, I'm not a dev here or not a team, but I think you will get unlocked NFTs that you can then use in other game modes, and maybe a little stash of Aurory that you can then use on the marketplace, or maybe hatch an egg. It could also be another currency. We've seen the team uh, Yeah, talking. There was a screenshot. It's already been a while, but it showed crystals. So it could be that there is another second currency in the game that people can earn and then probably use on some assets that are maybe worth a couple dollars on the blockchain. But of course, we're in the Web3 world as well here. So there are always going to be different aspects than the classic Web2 experience, like the lands as well. Essentially, they say they are tied into the story, and as a landlord, you will be able to earn from people visiting your lands. So I wonder, will we first have a completely offline experience, an intro, and then people are put out there in the world, having to explore different lands? We'll have to see that.
Yeah, I think people overlook how important nostalgia is. If, like you said, I could download the Backpack app and play Aurory on my phone. If I could play this game and it reminded me of playing Pokemon when I was a kid, I would absolutely love the game, right? Instantly, just because the nostalgia factor is so strong. Obviously, like you like don't copy Pokemon one of one, right? But if like there's obviously already similarities, and you can create a game that's not completely like Pokemon, but still has
Yeah,
enough similarities where the nostalgia is.
you also have Temtem and Nino Kuni, stuff like that. So
What are those?
you don't. Nino Kuni is another one that I played on the PlayStation. It also has creatures. The easiest way is to compare everything with Pokemon, but that was its own thing. Temtem is not one that I played, but I know that it was also big on the Nintendo. So I think there's definitely place for another game with creatures in it. It doesn't have to be a one-on-one copy of
Yeah, no,
Pokemon
of
to be
course,
a
of course.
success. But I don't know if you saw the latest teasers in the village. I was in it as well. You saw some Aurorians dancing in the village. I think it's also going to be like this social experience, like maybe the Pokemon MMORPG that we never had. Not saying that the whole experience will be an MMORPG, but it'll be cool to hang out in these social hubs that are the villages.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Something like it kind of reminds me of RuneScape from like 10 years ago,
Yeah.
where you
I
had
see
these.
that coming back time and time again.
Yeah, because if we had like a custom RuneScape where like your avatar is an Aurorian you own, and then there's like a public chat box and maybe like a private chat box for you and your friends, but you can walk around and explore
Yeah.
other things.
I see a future where other collections come in. I even heard the producer of the game talking about creating an exclusive storyline for other collections, like I don't know, the Youths, MadLads, or whatever, that they get their assets in the game and have their own storyline in the Aurory universe. Who knows? I think that's very far away for now, but I see it happening.
Yeah, no, it sounds like it sounds like a great idea. I wish I had a chance to play the game before this before the call. I mean, I'm definitely going to dive into it. Definitely piqued my interest for sure. So before I start playing the game, right? Since I've
Yeah.
never played the game, and honestly, I'm a bit of a perfectionist and maybe like an
Okay.
optimizer. Do you have any tips on how I can play the game and maximize my rewards? Like, I want to stack Rory and like Aurorians, of course. So like, I want to get
So
the most for my time.
yeah,
So do you have any tips on like,
the
yeah, I
first
guess yeah, how to do that?
the first tip that I give people: do not buy NFT straight away. Really, just boot up the game, go through the tiny tutorial that is in the game. You won't know everything, but it'll learn you a couple things, and then yeah, just try out a couple compos. I mean, there are other people queuing around your rank, so it is rank based, and you will play against other noobs. Just try it and get to learn it a bit. But I think for Aurory, it's good to hang out in the Discord. There's one channel, the Kiddies Tavern. I think that's your best source to get beginner
Yeah.
tips. Um, what I can say to you is that the most important stats for now on NFTs is the health stat and the initiative stat. The initiative stat, the higher it is, the sooner you can make moves. So there's a timeline that you will see on top, and that is the most important part of the whole game, in my opinion. You have to learn how to read that and how to make the correct moves. Like sometimes it's better to attack first or just get hit, stay there, but maybe afterwards you will be able to do 2 attacks at once and then move away. So pay attention to that.
If I do bad in my first few games, do I lose
Yeah.
anything?
You lose some MMR, you'll get lower and you'll get lower opponents. So I would say like any other game, like I've played some Rocket League today, and I'm just always getting queued against people of my level, and it's always a battle trying to win. I think that's the same for tactics here.
That's great. I want to I'm really business minded, right? So
Yeah,
I don't want to talk too crazy about like the business or the marketing aspect, but I could see like these NFTs, which are named perfectly, by the way, because I just realized on this call why they're called NFTs, because NFT just it makes
that took
sense.
me a while as well.
Yeah, I didn't. I probably realized maybe 20 minutes ago when I was
Yeah,
reading. I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
oh, that makes sense. But I could see like if Aurory made like if there was like a movie made, right, an
Yeah,
animated movie about this, and it had one major like advertising collaboration. I could
yeah,
see this going crazy, just like because there's I mean the art is dope. I'm looking at ByteBit
yeah.
right now, one of the NFTs. I'm looking at Shiba Ignite
I'm
Fire.
super biased, of course, but like Helios is the perfect mascot. Like Mario as the mascot, Pikachu as the mascot of Pokemon, and I feel like Helios is also a unique character. Um, and yeah, you're talking about a movie or an animated movie. You
Yep.
probably haven't seen the GDC trailer from Aurory, but there are a couple seconds in there that show some kind of animated movie. We don't know if that is an intro to the game or if they are already working on something like that, because recently they started calling Aurory the next big entertainment franchise and not just gaming franchise. So I believe the scope is still increasing at this time, and these guys definitely know where they're heading to. And
I
of
can see,
course,
I can see going to the grocery store, buying a box of cereal, and then getting like a little Helios toy. Like
that would be
I,
amazing.
I agree with you that Helios is like one of the is like a I don't want to say perfect, but he's like definitely a good character. Like he has
It
that look to
stands
him.
out. I feel. I do not think of another character when I see it. It's something on its own, and to me, it looks good. It was uh, what attracted me in the beginning as well. When I saw the art
How many Helioses are there?
in the story, there will only be one Helios that will help you. But for the Aurorian collection, so you have a humanoid. There are 10 Helioses. Those are very
There were
exclusive
9, right?
characters.
About a week
There were
ago.
9, yeah. So there were 2 FTX Aurorians that were bought by a user named Bartstocks, the one you interviewed 2 weeks ago. And the team wanted to do something for him. They talked to the other 9 Helios owners as well, and they all agreed that a 10th Helios character could be created. And he just received it this week, by the way.
Yeah,
When
I
you
saw it.
talked to
It's
him,
the
I
ice
don't think
dust.
he had it already.
No, he didn't. We talked about it, and he said he mentioned the same thing that the Helios owners kind of came to the conclusion that it's probably better to get rid of these 2 FTX Aurorians and
Hmm.
give him a Helios, which I think is super dope to do, right? Because Aurory didn't need to give Bard Stocks anything, if we're
Hmm.
being honest, right? He bought those 2 FTX
Yeah,
Aurorians like on his
correct.
own accord. He took the risk himself, so the fact that I mean that shows Aurory's character for helping
In
burning
that
those 2
way,
and
yeah,
creating another Helios, which Helios is so important to to the game, right? There was originally only 9. There's only one in the actual game, and the Helios that he got looks insane. The ice Helios.
Yeah, it's I feel like it's one of the best ones. You have the fire Helios and I the ice Helios. Definitely stands out. It's probably the top 3 Helios in the collection, I believe.
How much? How much are they going for? The Helioses.
I don't think they ever sold under 300k USD.
Jeez,
Yeah, but that was of course also they don't change hands often.
I can imagine. Yeah, there's only 9 of them. I'm assuming a lot of them are just.
But I know one people, a whale in Aurory, who tried to buy one, and they just all don't want to sell. So I think they all believe in the future of this brand and this collection, and
Yeah, I
think
can
they can.
imagine them diamond handing these Helioses.
Yeah. That's cool to see. I wouldn't say today people would pay 300k for it, but would definitely, I think, over
I mean,
200k worth.
yeah, I mean, in the future for sure. So if I don't see any would they be on Magic Eden under the Aurory collection, or would they be in a different marketplace?
They are, yeah, they are ranked 1 to 9. We have to add the 10th Helios as well, of course.
Yep.
But yeah, they are part of it. Of course, people now say it. They should have gone with 10k Helioses, but I mean, yeah, decisions were made.
Oh, 10k Helioses and only 9 Aurorians.
Yeah, that's something else. Yeah.
I mean, I kind of get it from that aspect too. But then again, the Aurorians are the actual characters that will be walking around the game with, right?
Humanoids is always harder to sell. I think that's where that came from, where people were like, if you would have made a 10k cat collection and be the first Solana cat collection, you might have gotten a bigger floor price, but yeah, that's all talk.
I don't
After the
think
fact.
I don't think that'll. I don't even think that'll be. I don't think that's a talking point now. Let
If you
alone.
see what MadLads does with also human characters, I mean, I don't think it would have mattered.
Yeah, no, I think definitely in the future that's not going to be a talking point that anyone's going to care about. MadLads is a great example because it's all just humanoids. I like the art for MadLads. I am surprised that they're like 80 soul floor price right now, something like that.
Yeah, I think it touched 100 today.
Yeah, it's
So, but
94.5
it's the same
right now.
artist from Aurory that made them. So, and now he's back to. He wants to evolve the Aurorians as they are. So he's now working on the Aurorian art upgrade. That's Jan
Are
Penno.
MadLads going to be a part of the game at all? Are they directly linked at all, or is it a whole separate collection?
No,
Because at the moment it seems like they're completely separate.
they are completely separate. The teams have a good connection and they share the same artist. But as for now, it's not like MadLads is part of the Aurory universe.
It would definitely be cool if they had some sort of cameo in the game where it's like some random
That's a good idea. I'm going to
throwaway
post
character.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, if there's like some random throwaway like NPC character, but it was some mad lad. I think that would be pretty
cool. Okay, yeah. We need to make that happen. That's a good suggestion.
I hope it happens. I hope so. I hope I can say I had some sort of impact on.
Yeah, all of the characters are sometimes inside jokes. Of course, the main character was first named Sam. Changed. That was changed.
Why'd you guys change that?
It's Max now.
I said, why'd you guys change it?
Oh, why? Because of FTX. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, Max makes sense, right? I think Bart stocks.
Yeah, there's going to be some meaning behind that, but that's something I cannot talk about here.
Oh yeah, no, okay, I understand. I get it. I'm still looking for my my forever Aurory. So I have 2 Aurorians right now.
I love the Twitter hat, by the way.
Yeah,
Not everyone loves it, but I found it Good looking.
I'm a fan of it. Another thing too, I don't know if you notice on my one of my thumbnails, I actually have the Twitter birds wrapped around the word, like the title.
Ah,
It's actually wrapped around. So a few birds are in front of the word and a few
yeah,
birds
yeah,
back.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So I thought it
Yeah,
was
that's
kind of
cool.
cool. I still need to find like my forever Aurorian though, one that I want,
Mhm.
because I'm at the stage where I'm sort of I guess creating a brand, right? Or
Yep.
creating some sort of identity. So I want to have one NFT that kind of represents me. So I
Yep.
definitely this and the Aurorian I have now, I like it. It's cool, but I don't think it's the one that I want to have forever. The one that I never
Yeah.
want to get rid of. The one
I
that I
feel
want to
you. Yeah.
associate everything with.
I also had to make that hard decision. So in
The
the
one you
very
have
early
is
days, I had
dope
another
though.
one, but I had a one with a Moogle hat. So I was a big Final Fantasy fan,
Yep.
hence my Auron BE nickname. So I had one with the Moogle hat, but it had this ugly mask. And with the art upgrade not coming immediately, I was like, I'm done with it. And then I made this massive deal.
What exactly is the art upgrade?
So they will actually redo the art of the Aurorians, but it will be voluntary. So you can keep your Aurorian as it is right now, but Jan, the artist, will completely redraw the collection. Of course, the traits will stay the same. They will not re-roll that and stuff, but they will bring it to a higher level, because they've now stated that the Solana NFT craze started in the summer of 2021, and they created this collection basically in 2-3 weeks. And they want to spend more time on it and give people the chance to upgrade it. It's a bit the same like DeGods did or some other collections.
Yeah.
Um, but like I said, you will also be able to keep it originally if you like it that way. But the community is very much looking forward to even better art on the collection, because sometimes people feel like there are too much white tees that are on the floor, like the masks are not very much loved.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
the masks because I get the time period that the collection was made, but
yeah,
I think 20 years from now, it's gonna be like, what the fuck? Why are they wearing masks?
indeed. So I think we don't know what's going to happen, but I think they'll make it a different trait. I don't know if that will be a creature that is sitting on your shoulder or something else, but I feel like most of the masks will be out.
Yeah, that's a good idea for sure. I think Degen Ape should do something similar with their, which I think they probably are doing
Yeah,
with. You probably already know what I'm gonna like their maid outfits and the
yeah,
pink
indeed,
dresses
indeed. Yeah,
and
I have one.
the stupid fucking basketball jerseys they have. They because those always sit at the floor and they're like, man, those are just so bad. I think Barty explained that they can't just burn them because it's some sort of like legal like price manipulation thing. But
Yeah. All right.
if you can upgrade them, like how funny. So yeah, did you see Monolith's tweet about the ape in the shining armor?
I must have missed that. Is it
I'll
very
send you.
recent? Yeah.
It's probably about 10 days ago, 11 days ago, something
Mm,
like that. So he had an ape with full shining armor, and
yeah.
it looked amazing. How funny would it be if you can upgrade like the black maid outfit and then you get the shining armor? Like I think that would be
Right.
perfect.
Right. Yeah.
Incentivizes people to buy these because then they can upgrade them to this newer looking ape. I don't. So with the Rory, right? With the Rorians, are they going to be? Is it going to be like a higher quality, more realistic picture?
Um. In August 2022, they showed a preview that changed the eyes too much, that made it more realistic, and the community immediately reacted that they loved how they have big eyes, like it's this anime character.
Yeah.
So I don't think they will touch it too much. I think it can use some more details. Some traits don't go well together. as well.
Yeah.
So I think in those regards, they can definitely improve even the backgrounds, which are too much of these. What is it, beige or
There's a
something?
lot of yeah, I'm looking at I'm literally looking at Magic Eden right now,
Mhm.
and 3, 7, 11 out of 15 that I'm looking at have a beige background.
Yeah. So I think, like for the white tees as well, I think you have 3K white tees or something.
Oh, that's a lot.
Maybe there, I don't know, they can make a T-shirt with the NFTs on or something. Of course, without touching rarity, that will be important. But yeah, who knows? Maybe, like you said, you'll be able to upgrade. Maybe you'll be able to spend some Aurory to have a specific T-shirt that you can put on your NFT.
How cool would it be? I don't even know if I'm suggesting this or advocating for it, but how cool would it be if you have this Aurorian that you can buy specific traits. So like let's say I have just a regular default Aurorian, no traits, but I see like
Yeah.
sunglasses that I like. And I can spend like X amount of Ori to transform my Aurorian to have this trait on it. I don't know if that's a good idea, but
I
it
feel
sounds like a cool concept.
I feel like that'll happen. I think they will put default characters in the game that you will eventually be able to also customize. But then I think it will be important to have unique traits for the Aurorians, because that's the OG 10K collection, and give them a couple of objects that no one else can have. And then also introduce, like you said, cool sunglasses for everyone to wear.
I think actually that's probably a great idea, right? So thinking like 5, 10 years from now, you have this, let's say like mobile app, like phone game, or even maybe
Yeah.
console. So you have this default character, starts off with nothing. You play the game, you earn tokens throughout the game. Then you can go shop and customize this character, and then it transforms on the blockchain, right? So
Uh-huh.
this Aurorian is this custom character. So everybody, because think about it, there's like 100,000 players, right? Like you need it wouldn't be unrealistic to have like an insane amount of traits and have because obviously
Absolutely.
some people are going to have similar looking Aurorians, but the more customizability there is,
Mhm.
um, people are going to walk around and everybody's going to have sort of like a one of one Aurorian, but it's not going to have any value, like, and it's not going to have any insane value, right? But that'll drive up the value
Indeed,
of
indeed.
the OG
I mean,
collection.
we've seen shoes. It was hinted over a year ago. Like you can see that on the picture, but it could be that OG people get a special pair of shoes airdropped, and yeah, other people, and then we have this whole shoe collection in the game as well. That's one of the possibilities. Just don't know if that's something for soon or just further down the line.
Yeah, definitely. So we're coming up to an hour now.
Yeah,
And I know an hour is about. I want to be really respectful of your time. I know you're.
thanks.
How late is it where you are? It's like past.
Yes, 20 minutes before 1 a.m. At night. And I
Yeah.
have
So
to
yeah,
get up in about 6 hours, I think, to go to the classic 9 to 5 job.
yeah, bro. I literally got off my 9 to 5, rushed over
Yeah, yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah.
Like when I got to my.
I'm glad we were able to meet up.
Oh, definitely. When I got to my computer, I was still in like my chinos and my like Ralph Lauren quarter zip. Like I didn't even
Sorry, man.
change. I'm still wearing the quarter zip actually, but no, I mean, no need to apologize. That you got to do what you got to do to make shit happen. But do you have any, I guess, closing remarks or anything you want to end off with?
Um, I'm glad you chose an Aurorian to build your brand. And I think you're doing great. You had already 2 major guests. Um, and I want to invite people, of course, to try out Aurory. And you can definitely DM me if you need extra info, or join the Aurory Discord, where there's always people there to help you out.
Where can they find you on Twitter? What's your handle?
Most known as AuroryDaily.
Oh,
Then in my bio, you'll find a link to my private account or in BE as well. But I'm mostly on AuroryDaily, bringing people daily updates on what is happening in Aurory, because there's always something going on. It's not only games, of course. You have these Web3 kind of things, the expeditions, which are kind of a staking mechanism for Aurorians, and also with the Aurory, the DAO that I'm in of Aurory. We also have our separate things going on. Maybe we need another meeting for that. But yeah.
How do I join these meetings? I want to get involved. I actually want to. I have an Aurorian, right? So can I just?
Yeah.
Do I get a pass?
Well, we'll do another community meeting soon. The one I had today was with the 9 counselors, but of course you're also free to run, to be on the council of the Aurory. We'll do the elections in May, and on June 1st we will have a new term of 9 counselors for the Aurory. So if you're interested, maybe read up on it, and you could get involved if you wanted to.
Sounds good with me. I'm definitely going to read up on it and take it into consideration.
Yeah, I can share some things after the meeting or tomorrow if you have any questions.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'll definitely be in touch. I guess to end off, I appreciate having you on for sure. Obviously, definitely dropped a lot of information that I didn't know, and hopefully is valuable to the viewers. And we'll definitely be in touch. I'm definitely going to hit you up about other stuff, and feel free to message me about whatever as well.
Perfect.
All right, man. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, and good luck with the podcast, I'd say.
Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate it.